In this video, I will talk about how to make waxed thread, which will be useful for shoemaking or beadwork. You can buy it at the market or make it yourself if you really need it. I know 3 methods by which you can do this. We will need regular nylon thread of any color and size that you need. A spool, which every fisherman and fisherwoman has. Wax, the regular kind, that all beekeepers have and is available at the market. And a construction hairdryer. You can use a regular one, depending on your preferences. In the first method, you take the thread, a piece of wax. You can even do it without heating it. Take the thread and simply pull through the wax. You can do it several times to ensure it is well saturated with wax. In this case, the thread becomes greasy and slippery. Depending on the task at hand, if you need such a thread, you can use this method. In the second method, the thread is wound onto a fishing reel. The amount you need. Cut off the excess and make the free end on the reel into a groove. Insert it there so it doesn't unwind. After this, you need to take wax, a construction or regular hair dryer, slightly heat it and rub it onto the entire thread from both sides. Rub it well. As generously as possible. Don't forget the ends. You can see that the entire thread has turned white. After this, the thread needs to be heated using a construction hairdryer. You can use a regular hairdryer or an iron through a newspaper. I remind you that the melting temperature of beeswax is 62 to 68 degrees Celsius. Therefore, this temperature will be sufficient for the wax to melt without burning the thread. Turn on the hairdryer to the first power setting and start carefully heating it so as not to burn the thread. You can see how it melts and gets absorbed into the thread. Don't forget about the ends. After this, wait for the thread to cool down, and then it can be used. The thread has cooled down, and let's try to test it. To the touch, the thread is almost not greasy, and the wax has completely saturated the entire thread. It also has stiffness, but its appearance is almost not white. And in the third case, we will need a water bath to melt the wax. Take a piece of paper, wrap a small amount of thread around it, as much as you need. Wrap it not too tightly, not too loosely, so it doesn't fall off and all layers are well saturated. This is the kind of spool we got. Insert a place so it can be held by hand. And let's go make a water bath. Take an old tin can. Cut a piece of wax into it. An old small water container. Pour in a lot of water. Put it on the gas. On top. Place the can with wax in the water and wait until the water boils on low heat. Now the wax has melted. You need to dip the thread into it for a few seconds so that it is well saturated. and take it out to cool down. Finally, the thread has cooled and we can check what happened to it. Now it is also on the outside almost not greasy and has a rigid structure. The excess wax that remains between the coils will simply fall off when unwinding. This waxed thread is, in my opinion, more effective than previous methods. It is well and thoroughly saturated with plenty of wax. It has a whitish color. With such a thread, you can start repairing shoes and other handicrafts. I think it's no worse than what is sold in stores and at the market. And most importantly, it is made with your own hands. Write comments and feedback, like subscribe to our channel. Stay with us. Goodbye everyone.